Hello guys, again, day 169, day 19 of the challenge. We are almost done. Less than a week. And we finish with Genki. Yeah, this is the music I listen to. It's amazing.
Today. And yeah, so you just move it up and down.
So, hello, Benzerka. Nice to see you also. That was quick. That was very quick. When we started, you came and I saw you. So, yes, day 169 and we almost finished with Genki. So, we finish with 15 minutes this video. I was just studying Japanese. And by the way, hopefully you finished 30 days also. So today is 30th of January.
Something like that. What's our next section?
A whole month of studying, crazy. It went by fast. So we are almost finishing the 30 days of Genki as well. So we just keep going, staying consistent. On to the next one, on to the next month, of course. So, and until we reach 2026, we will have a huge amount of Japanese knowledge.
Our next section is
and
the one
also,
I'm not super happy about. It's our final section.
Our protein shake here and our nuts. Brazil nuts, almonds, and walnuts.
For this lesson.
So we start today.
I wish I had. All right, let's just do it. I'm gonna rant a little bit, guys. Before we jump into this section, we need to do a quick Godan conjugation crash course once again. So,
good morning. Quickly. We were just discussing with Benzerka. We are on day 30. 30th of January, Benzerka is doing 30 days straight, and we also started. We get to the next month, so we keep going strong.
Godan conjugation. What it means is there's these 5 different hiragana, so 5 different sounds for a single consonant. So the k consonant has ka, ki, ku, keko. So there's 5 of them, right? And those are the 5 steps in Godan conjugation. And the reason that it's called 5 steps is because to conjugate verbs in Japanese, what you do for Godan verbs that can be conjugated this way, which is everything except for verbs that end in the sound iru or edu, and usually suru and kuru. The verb to do, suru, and kuru, to come, cannot be conjugated this way. Usually, iru and edu verbs that end in those sounds, they are conjugated differently as well. But most verbs are Godan verbs, most of them. So they're conjugated this way. Aruku, you'd move it up to aruki, and for example, add mas, back down to aruku.
So what is this episode about? We watched it yesterday. It was the lesson 18. Yesterday we watched 45 minutes. We did transitive, intransitive. We did teiru, intransitive with teiru. Teshimao. The end of yesterday's, yes. Teshimao, to, which was easy. And nagara, of course. And now we are doing bayokatta. I know ba means if, but here is yokatta, bayokatta. After that, we will finish lesson 19. So yeah, almost done. Only ichi, ni, san, yon, go. Only go videos. Only 5 videos. And we watched today, and we will have only 4 videos left. 4 days, and we complete. After we finish with Genki, I will not do any Genki anymore. I will only do Game Gengo for a while. Maybe we do a Game Gengo challenge. Watch as many videos as possible from Game Gengo.
The dictionary form, down to aruke, which is the command form, but it's also one we're going to be covering today. And yeah, so you just move it up and down this chart like this to get different conjugations. And then you add something else. And the one we're going over today is the ba conditional, but that's not what we're going over today. The ba conditional isn't actually taught in Genki 2 until lesson 20, I believe 22. But they're teaching you a grammar form that requires the ba form in this lesson. So we're on lesson 18, and we're about to teach you the grammar point ba yokatta. But to use ba yokatta, you need to know how to conjugate verbs into the ba conditional, which isn't taught until lesson 22. What the hell is that? That makes literally no sense. So what I'm about to do is I'm going to teach you how to make the ba conditional, but not how to use it, because that's not until lesson 22. So I'm sorry about that. I'm just following the Genki path, which makes no sense. And they even admit in the book, we're not going to teach you how to use the ba conditional until lesson 22, but here's how you make it so that you can use this version of it. Whatever. All right, the ba conditional. So we move down to the e column. So we take aruku, move it down to e, aruke, and add ba. Aruku becomes aruke, ba. And now we have the ba conditional of a godan verb. If it was, well, one good thing about this, one good thing to note is that there are no
Ba is very important, yeah. Yeah, I did ba. I know ba. But maybe I need to see more examples. Ba is important. So I think I forgot. I need to learn the conjugations for ba. I forgot the conjugations of ba, no, I think. But maybe it's just e. You move to the e.
exceptions. None. Iru and eru verbs, ichidan verbs, they're conjugated like godan verbs. Suru and kuru, conjugated like godan verbs in this situation. So, for example, kuru, you just go down to the e column, kude ba. Suru, you go down to the e column, sure ba. Iru eru verbs, aru. What's a good iru and eru verb? Let me think of one. Taberu. You go down to the a column, tabere.
Always
ba.
taberu.
So,
Always taberu.
no exceptions. Good news, right? If you're going for the ba conditional, you just take the last character, go down to the a column in that character's list. So for if it ends in do, you go down to de and add ba. And you got the ba conditional. I'll talk more about how to use the ba conditional in lesson 22 when Genki actually teaches it. The only reason you need to know how to make this conjugation today is because Genki decided that it was a good time to teach you ba yokatta. Ba yokatta. Which is a conditional action followed by yokatta. It would have been good if, the past tense of good, would have been good if I did this
Ba
thing.
yokatta.
Which not literally, which translates or has the feeling of I wish I had done a certain action, or I should have done a certain action. In the third person, when you're talking about how you wish someone else did something, or you think that they should have done something, we're going to usually add to omo or to omoimasu to the end of this construction. So for example, I think you should have done a certain action. Conditional action, ba yokatta to omo or to omoimasu, because it's sort of presumptive to say it would have been better if you did this thing about another person. It's better to say, I think it would be better if you had done this thing. So please be careful with this when you're talking about what you think other people should have done. Let's go over some example sentences. Tabereba yokatta na. Man, I wish I ate. So that means literally it would have been good if I ate. Na. Tabereba yokatta na. So check that out. Taberu, it's an iru and eru verb. Well, it's an
conjugation, right? Is a good, for a quick refresher. You can set it to only one day. I saw it, like ba. Sometimes I'll do that for a few minutes if I start feeling like I'm struggling or something. Of course, I have it in my mind. After we finish with Genki challenge, after we finish with Game Gengo also, a couple of videos, I will do a lot of drills, a lot of conjugations. I just want to write all the conjugations on my notebook. I have them all on my notebook, and then just do drills every day. Every day after we finish with the challenge, every day I will do drills. It's a great website. I checked it out. I'm going to do it every day.
Eru verb. It's an ichidan verb, but it doesn't matter. We treat it like a godan verb. We go tabereba yokatta na.
I think the only way to learn the conjugations is to do practice, to do exercises like the drills, or to do and also do these exercises. After that, I think I will definitely go back to these exercises and start solving. I will do a lot of drills and exercises. Yuki, hello! How is it going? Day 169 and 19 also.
Sentences. パーティーに行けばよかったです。I wish I went to the party. パーティーに行けばよかったです。パーティーに行けばよかった。I wish I went to the party. 行く not an exception. It sometimes is. Just move down to the A column. 行けばよかったです。話せばよかったと思いますよ。You know, yo. I think you should have spoken to them is implied. 話せばよかったと思いますよ。I think you should have spoken to them. You can also do this with negative things that you wish someone hadn't done or that you 話せばよかったと思いますよ。I think you should have spoken to them. よかったです。Not an exception. It sometimes is.
行けばよかったです。
行けばよかったです。
話せばよかったと思いますよ。
You know, yo. I think you should have spoken to them is implied. 話せばよかったと思いますよ。I think you should have spoken to them. You can also do this with negative things that you wish someone hadn't done or that you wish you hadn't done. So what you do to say you wish you hadn't done something is you take the short form negative. So for example, 食べない or 歩かない. You cut the E, which I don't have here, and you add ければよかった. So なければよかった. For the third person, just like before, you take the short form negative, cut the E, and add ければよかったと思う or と思います. I think you shouldn't have done a certain thing. So some example sentences, same ones as before, but we went with the negative, is you take 食べない cut the E, and add ければ
and working. Now I need to scan my Japanese books. So I no longer have to do them in paper next to my computer. Wait, so is it better to have them on like scanned? Isn't it not better to read them on paper? I thought paper is better. Like, I don't know. Aren't books better than PDFs?
よかったな. Man, I wish I didn't eat. パーティーに行かなければよかったです. I wish I didn't go to the party.
I don't know. I always read with PDF because I don't have books. PDF for searching. For searching for. Okay. Yeah, PDF is important to search the words. But I don't know. I don't have books. I don't have a lot of books. I only read PDF. But I feel like on paper is easier to read. On like having a book is much better for me. You get tired from PDF. Definitely not. The writing is very small and can change the size on my monitor accordingly. Okay, so yeah, you can play with PDF, of course. Like you can find words, you can copy paste, you can change the size. It's easier to mold. But I don't know. I always use PDF because I don't have books. But it's tired. You get tired here sometimes. I don't know.
食べ行かないcut the E.
You get tired. I mean, you get tired from reading a lot of PDFs. I feel like reading on paper is easier. Like back in school, we were always reading
ければよかった。行かなければよかった。話さなければよかったと思いますよ。You know, I think you shouldn't have spoken to them. So, 話さな
Magnifying glass.
い買っていい
Yeah,
ければ
yeah, you can change
話
that.
さなければよかったと思いますよ。And that brings us to the dialogue. So, let's
Wait,
go.
I did not pay attention to the examples.
I use something or to omoimasu. I think you shouldn't have done a certain thing. So some example sentences. Same ones as
Wait, what is
for the
kereba?
third person.
Kereba? I wish I hadn't. Kereba is the negative. Ah, of course. Kereba yokatta. I wish I hadn't done action. Kereba yokatta to omou. Okay.
Kereba have done a certain thing. So some example sentences. Same ones as before, but we went with the negative. Is you take tabena ai, cut the i, and add kereba. Tabena kereba yokatta na. Man, I wish I didn't eat. パーティーに行かなければよかったです。I wish I didn't go to the party. 行かないかっていければよかった。行かなければよかった。話さなければよかったと思いますよ。You know, I think you shouldn't have spoken to them. So, 話さないかってい add ければ。話さなければよかったと思いますよ。And that brings us to the dialogue. So, let's go. Slowly one time, then full speed. Then I'll go over the English.
Done.
I will get.
No, it's also annoying because during class I need to be at the computer speaking with the class and holding a book at the same time. It's incredibly cumbersome. Cumbersome. That's a new word. Cumbersome.
Cumbersome. Cumbersome.
Cumbersome. Cumbersome.
Cumbersome.
Cumbersome. Cumbersome. Large or heavy and therefore difficult to carry or to use. Unwieldy. Cumbersome diving suits. Okay. Bro, Yuki, your English is very high level.
Get to question time, and then I'll answer any questions that you might have, and we can chat for a bit. So, 最近どう少しうまくなったと思う。若い時もっと勉強すればよかった。大丈夫だよ。今頑張ってるでしょう。まあ、
Nah, just
そう
words
だ
I
ね。
picked up somewhere.
でも、わかる。若い時、あんなに遊ばなければよかった。まあ、しょうがないね。そうだね。Full speed. 最近どう少しうまくなったと思う。若い時もっと勉強すればよかった。大丈夫だよ。今頑張ってるでしょ。まあそうだね。でもわかる。若い時あんなに遊ばなければよかった。遊ばなければよかった。
遊ばなければよかった。
そうだね。
そうだね。
Alright, let's go over the English. 最近どう This is a nice, very informal way to ask, how have you been recently? Instead of saying to someone, o genki desu ka, every single time you see them, which is very awkward, you should instead say something like maybe, 最近どう How have you been recently?
最近どう I always say Genki desu ka. I need to change it. So 最近どう最近どう最近どう最近どう Okay, 最近どう Okay, when Onyaman comes, I'll tell him 最近どう
最近どう Much better than
最近どう
genki desu ka. Don't say genki desu ka every time you meet someone. Just don't do
I will
it.
not say.
Say 最近どう
最近ど
Yeah, I haven't seen him
う
in a while.
最近どう
少し上手くなったと
最近
思う。
どう
I think I've become a little better at Japanese. So it's implied here. 最近上手くなったと思う because we had talked about it earlier. 若い時 when I was younger, もっと
もっと勉強すればよかった。
I wish I studied more. Or it would have been good if I studied more. So you'll notice here 勉強する. Usually する is an irregular, but for the ba conditional form, it's not. You just treat it like a go down verb. You go down to the A column, すれば, which is nice, right? 勉強すればよかった。
最近どう？
大丈夫だよ。
大丈夫だよ。
頑張ってるでしょ。
まあ頑張ったでしょ。
This very informal conversation. 頑張っている is what this is supposed to be. 頑張ってる is the more informal version. 頑張ってるでしょ。Don't worry about it. 大丈夫だよ。You're working hard right now, right? 今頑張ってるでしょ。頑張っているでしょ。It's easier for me to say 頑張っている. It's easier for Japanese people to say 頑張ってる, I think. 頑張ってるでしょ。まあそうだね。
まあそうだね。
Yeah, true. でもわかる。
でもわかる。
That should be read. 若い時、あんなに遊ばなければよかった。I wish I didn't mess about or play around that much. あんなに when I was young. あんなに that much 遊ばなければよかった。I wish I didn't play around so much when I was young. まあしょうがないね。
まあしょうがないね。
This is a very important phrase that you need to know if you're going to be speaking Japanese in the future. しょうがない. It's a philosophy in Japanese. Nothing can be done about it is what it means. しょうがない. What can you do about it?
しょうがない.
It's already done. These are things that we didn't do when we were young and we can't undo the fact that we didn't do them.
しょうがない.
Nothing can be done about it. しょうがない.
しょうがない.
So when something is occurring in your life and you're feeling bad about it or you're talking to someone who feels down about some mistake they made in the past, this is a very useful phrase. It means まあしょうがないね.
しょうがないね.
Nothing can be done about it.
しょうがないね.
So often Japanese people in the workplace will say しょうがない when actually something can be done about it, but they're too scared to do it. So you'll need to get used to that as well. そうだね. Fair enough.
そうだね.
Question time. Tell us something that you wish you did more of in 2020. もっと読めばよかった is what I wish I did more of in 2020. もっと読めばよかった. I wish I read more.
私ももっと読めばよかった。私も読めばもっと読めばよかった.
So what's something that you wish you did more of in 2020? Let's see what's going on in chat.
本を読めばよかった.
For all of you who are still here, thumbs up を攻撃してください. Please smash the thumbs up button. チャンネル登録お願いします. Please subscribe and 皆さんおはこんばんにちは and welcome to the Genki lesson 19 Toki Andy live stream right there. So tonight we're going to be covering 19 Toki Andy live stream.
Need to keep it for put it later on the thumbnail of YouTube. But let's just write in lesson 19, okay? I wish I had. Okay, lesson 19. Lesson 19. Okay.
Right there. So tonight we're going to be covering honorific verbs, respectful commands in Japanese. Thank you for in Japanese. Thank you for specific things. I'm glad I did something in Japanese, and I expect that such and such a thing is the case in Japanese. But before we get started with that, let's go ahead and jump over to our foreshadowing video and all of that. Let's go ahead and jump into honorific verbs. So honorific verbs in Japanese are for lifting up or exalting the person that you are speaking to.
Honorific verbs.
When you use these types of verbs, you don't use them for things that you're doing, activities that you're doing. You use them in reference to other people. So use them in reference to other people when you want to show respect to them. Now, the main thing that I want to get across in this lesson in particular is that you will probably never use this. Probably never use it. I really have never used it much. I worked at a restaurant once for a while and a bar, like on Saturdays after work, I'd go to practice speaking Japanese, basically. That's why I worked there. I would work nights on Saturdays just to get some practice speaking Japanese. And I used it a little bit then. But unless you plan on working in a service job here in Japan, which is quite unlikely, you probably won't be using this, but you will hear it a lot. You'll hear it on the phone when people are talking to you, like that you don't know, if you're calling a company or the bank to ask something. This is the kind of language they're going to be using towards you. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you go to a store or something, people may speak to you in this manner, but you will probably not be using this. Even within your own company, like the examples in the book are talking to the company president or whatnot. Japanese people need to learn this stuff if they work at a major company, because they will maybe have to talk to their company president like this. But in my experience, in smaller companies or even in English speaking, like most of you are English speakers, if you're going to come to Japan, you're probably going to end up teaching English, and you will never be expected to speak this way to anyone. In fact, it'll be a much more friendly, one-on-one type of atmosphere usually. In my experience, even in serious companies, when I'm speaking with the company president or whatever, which actually has happened quite a few times, it's just normal mas des for some reason. Foreigners aren't expected to know this stuff, and even Japanese people have a hard time with it. Most Japanese people don't learn keigo, honorific verbs and forms, until they actually need it. And when Yuki and I were going through this lesson doing the textbook practice, there's a lot of conversion exercises where you take verbs like right on screen right now, iku, and things like that, and turn them into the honorific. And those are easy, but when you take other verbs, like just other random verbs, like sing, and turn them into honorifics, which we're going to go over in a few minutes, people just don't do that normally. It's never used, even by Japanese people usually, except for in very strange circumstances, maybe like the one in the example in the book. But anyway, we both had a hard time with it. Yuki even had a hard time trying to figure out what the correct answer was for some of the textbook practice exercises, because keigo is complicated, very complicated, even for Japanese people. So my whole point is, don't get too worried about this. Memorize these few things and try to get used to hearing it. And if you want to learn how to use it, that's perfectly fine. But if you struggle with it, it's not a big deal. This is one of the few sections in the book that you can sort of just be like, yeah, I'm going to push this one off for a while, because you're just not going to need it anytime soon.
Okay.
But with that said, let's go ahead and jump into it. So the first things we're going to be covering are these two verbs, irasharu and meshiagaru. So irasharu is the honorific verb for iru, iku, and kuru. This iru is not the verb to need, it's the verb to exist. So to exist, to go, and to come in honorific Japanese is irasharu. Irasharu. Meshiagaru is for taberu and nomu, both. Taberu and nomu are both meshiagaru. There's no differentiation between those two verbs. And there's no differentiation between these three verbs. It's very ambiguous. Irasharu. Some other common honorific verbs that were covered in this lesson in Genki are kudasaru. Kudasaru. This is the honorific version of kureru, which is to receive. This is where kudasai comes from, actually. Kudasaru, to receive. Suru becomes nasaru. Nasaru. Neru, to sleep, becomes oyasumi ni naru. You're going to see this ni naru along with the, with suru verbs and with mas stems a lot, but that comes in a little bit. So neru becomes oyasumi ni naru. This is actually where oyasumi nasai comes from. Oyasumi plus suru, nasaru. Oyasumi nasaru. The command form of that is oyasumi nasai. That's where that comes from. Miru becomes goran ni naru. Completely different. Goran ni naru. You're going to hear this one a lot. You becomes osharu. Osharu. And the te iru form becomes te irasharu.
I don't know why I'm writing them. I'm not going to need it.
These are just things you're gonna have to memorize them like vocabulary, basically.
But
get used to
I'm
them.
not gonna remember them
if you're on the phone or on the train and things like that. And that's about it. In restaurants as well.
Yeah,
So
I don't need to write them. I
honorific
don't need
verbs
to
is
write
a little
them.
bit weird. They don't.
I mean, at least you will need to understand it. Let's say you are booking a hotel room via telephone. the personnel you are speaking to will use Sonkiego with you, a customer. You don't need to use it yourself, but at least you need to understand what they are talking about. If I call a hotel and I don't understand, I will tell them to speak to me normally. Don't use Sonkiego because I don't understand Sonkiego. Maybe you can do that. But I don't know. I don't right now because
Usually conjugate.
I don't need to learn it. I think I will focus on the rest and then try to learn this Sonkiego later. If I learn all of the other conjugations, do drills to practice, after that I will focus later on the honorific and Sonkiego.
There's no trick to these at all. These are just things you're gonna have to memorize them like vocabulary, basically. But get used to them. You'll hear them a lot if you're on the phone or on the train and things like that.
But let's start because I like writing hiragana and kanji. But it's a waste of time though. Yasuminasai.
And that's about it.
Train
In
announcements.
restaurants as well.
We use this language also, but they usually do an English version after the Japanese. So you can't always ask them to be less polite. You can't always ask them to be less polite. Wait, train announcement? Of course, you cannot speak to the train announcement. Maybe it's automatic. But if you speak with someone, you can speak with him. Tell him, I don't understand. Speak less polite. We'll use this language also, but they usually do English version after Japanese. Yeah, train announcement will be automatic, like recorded, no?
So conjugating honorific verbs is a little bit weird. They don't usually conjugate as you would expect. So for example, irasharu, it's not an iru or an eru verb, so you'd expect it to conjugate as irasharimasu if you're putting it into the mas form. By the way, irasharu is the dictionary form. It's not conjugated that way. It's conjugated as irashaimasu. Irashaimasu. So you cut the ru and add imasu. Cut the ru and add imasu. Irashaimasu. You've heard irashaimase before. Well, that's where that comes from. Taberu, nomu becomes meshiagaru.
Irashaimase, yes, to welcome. Okay.
Which becomes meshiagarimasu. That conjugates exactly as you would expect it for the present tense polite form. There's a couple weird ones here. The pink ones are verbs that conjugate how you would not expect them, and the light green ones are just normal. So kudasaru becomes kudasaimasu. Once again, you would expect kudasadimasu based on the godan verb rules, but because this is a special honorific verb, kudasaimasu.
Yeah, I remember that. We did it, Yuki. You remember? We did the E. You explained it to me. So instead of ri, we use E. Kudasaimasu.
Nasaru becomes nasaimasu. That's also an odd one. Oyasumi ni naru is you just conjugate naru. So oyasumi ni narimasu. Goran ni naru becomes goran ni narimasu. Osharu is also a weird one. It becomes oshaimasu. Now, when I say weird one, fortunately, they're all pretty much the same. You're just cutting the ru and adding imasu. So that's nice at least, right? Kudasaru becomes kudasaimasu. Just cutting the ru and adding imasu. Osharu becomes oshaimasu. Cutting the ru and adding imasu. Te irasharu is just taking irasharu and adding it to the te form, so te irashaimasu. Now, that's just a list of some standard honorific verbs. I think there's probably more. I don't know any off the top of my head, but for any other verb that you want to make honorific, this is how you do it. For the te form, it's just te irasharu, as we went over a moment ago. And for any other verb, like utao, to sing, or what's another one? To listen, kiku.
Might be able to say something like
o plus
something like, what's that? Sonkiego. Sonkiego 尊敬語を使いずに、使わずに、私と話してくれませんか Can you use, yeah, could you speak with me without 尊敬語 Yeah. If you speak with someone on the telephone, for example, 使わずに without you, yeah, without, 使わずに zuni means without doing. So, suru, to do, zuni is without doing. Okay. You might, okay.
The mas stem and add ninaru. So for example, for listen, kiku, you would take o kiki ni naru. O kiki ni naru. And that's it.
Okay, I'm going to bring some food and eat a little bit because I don't think I will write all of the sonkeigo. I don't need to write, so I'm going to eat. Just hit them with a 簡単な日本語でお願いします。簡単な日本語でお願いします。Speak simple Japanese with me. 簡単なに。Okay, let's go. Sensei Vic, how is it going? 私は Athens にいます。お元気ですか? No, how is it going? So wait, you are in Athens now? Bro, send pictures. So instead, I forgot. Instead of saying Genki desu ka, he said just now we learned a new word. Saikin do. Greek is harder than Japanese. It's easy. I can speak it. If I can speak it, anyone can speak. So how is it? How is it there?
But yeah, they don't, it's not done a whole lot with just regular verbs. So let's go over some example sentences.
Very hot.
ご覧になり
ご
ます
覧に
か
なりますか
ご覧になりますか
ご
Will
覧
you
になります
watch? ご覧になりますか So you'll notice that here we're using the mas form. So up until now, you've been taught that the dictionary form is informal Japanese and the
But
mas
it's
form is
hard. Greek is
polite.
indeed
But
hard.
then you might be wondering, why is the honorific form still just the mas form? And that's because it's the words you're using that are the honorific form. It's
It
the
is
words
hot for
as opposed
for
to
being
just the
winter.
connotations in this sense.
There is no winter in Greece. There is no winter.
So the honorific is
There is a song. Can you write the new greeting? Of course. Yeah, he said don't say Genki desu ka. Say Saikin do. Saikin do. Saikin do. So there is a song. There is a song called then Gani Crio στην Ελλάδα. So there is no cold in Greece.
Για αύριο Σάββατο προβλέπεται ηλιοφάνεια σε ολόκληρη τη χώρα.
θερμοκρασία θα κυμανθήσει ψηλά για την εποχή
Wait,
επίπεδα.
wait, watch this song. Wait, it is never cold. It is never cold in Greece.
Την Τρίτη ο υδραργύρος θα σημειώσει
Oh. Δεν κάνει κρύο στην Ελλάδα.
Κρυώνουμε! 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 Και βέβαια, αφού ξέρουμε πώς.
Are you cold? Are you cold? He's asking.
is. So when you're exalting the person you're talking to, there's other ways of being polite and humble. Those are expressions we go over in lesson 20, I believe, in 21. But these ones are lifting the person up you're speaking to. You're using the mas form generally speaking, and it's the verbs you're using or the words you're using that are honorific. So, goran ni naru is the honorific. Goran ni narimasu ka? Will you watch? And you're generally going to be using the mas form. Nani wo benkyou nasai
Why you're fucking weird? This is Locomondo.
masu ka? So, suru verb.
Κρυώνουμε. Are you cold? Oh no. Oh he.
Nasaru. Benkyou nasaimasu ka? What will you study?
Ask your family. κρυώνουμε. Tell them.
Okiki ni natte
Are you cold?
imasu. They are listening. So this is raising up the person who is listening. Okiki ni natte imasu. So the person who is doing the listening is the person I'm raising up on a pedestal. Okiki ni natte irasharu. This is also something you could do. You could make it a double humble expression. It's not really necessary, but you can do it. Okiki ni natte imasu is perfectly fine. But okiki ni natte irasharu is also okay. But it's a double honorific expression. I don't really know why. Genki doesn't really explain why. This is not my specialty. This is not Yuki's specialty. This is very, very few people's on the planet's specialty. You're going to have a hard time figuring out why. Just know that these two things are fine. And you may hear both. Some more complicated examples are kono eiga wo goran ni narimasu ka? Just a longer version of the last one. Will you watch this movie? The reason I made this sentence is because I wanted to point out is that the other words in the sentence, like eiga and stuff like that, they're probably just going to say the same as they would in a normal sentence. The verb is where you're going to be getting your honorifics from most of the time, but not always. I'll show you some examples in a minute. Kono eiga wo goran ni narimasu ka? Will you watch this movie? Tadaima 社長が電話に出ていらっしゃいます。Right now, the company president is on the phone. So, ただいま. It's not honorific, but it's a very polite version of 今. ただいま means right now, but you'll hear it a lot in like store announcements and stuff like that. And it's a more polite version of 今. So you're going to see some more polite words, especially like adverbs and time expressions like this, showing up in honorific language. So, ただいま社長が電話に出ていらっしゃいます. Right now, the company president is on the phone. Next sentence is, その本をお読みになったことがありますか? So here's ことがありますか, but with honorific expressions. お読みになったことがありますか? Have you ever read that book before? This is something you might hear. Probably not, but you might hear someday. So that's it. Probably not as satisfying as you were hoping for, but that's what I got for you on this one. Let's go ahead and jump into the dialogue. 飛行機に乗る前に何か召し上がりますか? そうだね。そこのハンバーガーはどうかな? 社長はベジタリアンでいらっしゃいませんでしたか? 旅行の時はお肉を食べるよ。でも妻には内緒。あら? いらっしゃいませ。メニューをご覧になりますか? Let's go full speed, although that was kind of at full speed. 飛行機に乗る。
何を食べています? ファソリだ。ファソリだ。ファソリだ and chicken breast.
前に何か召し上がりますか? そうだね。そこのハンバーガーはどうかな? 社長はベジタリアンでいらっしゃいませんでしたか? 旅行の時はお肉を食べるよ。でも妻には内緒。あら? いらっしゃいませ。メニューをご覧になりますか? Let's go over the English for that. Alright. 飛行機に乗る前に何か召し上がりますか? So, Yuki, this is Yuki, and Shacho. So, Yuki's going to be using honorific expressions when she's talking about Shacho, and he's going to be using normal expressions because obviously he's the one being risen up. Or, yeah, right. So, Yuki says, would you like to go eat something before we get on the plane? 召し上がりますか could also be drink something, right? It's ambiguous, but we're going to assume she means eat right now. So, 飛行機に乗る前に before we get on the plane, 何か something 召し上がりますか? Would you like to eat something or drink something before we get on the plane? そうだね。そこのハンバーガーはどうかな? I wonder how that hamburger joint is. 社長はベジタリアンでいらっしゃいませんでしたか? You aren't a vegetarian, 社長? I thought you were is what is being implied here. いらっしゃいませんでしたか? Vegetarian でいらっしゃいませんでしたか? It's like, weren't you a vegetarian? I thought you were existing as a vegetarian. いらっしゃる in this case. 旅行の時はお肉を食べるよ。でも妻には内緒。内緒 is a fun word. It means secret or don't tell. 内緒. It's like a secret. 秘密 is also a secret, but in this case, it's like don't tell the person. 内緒. あら? What? Oops. いらっしゃいませ。メニューをご覧になりますか? Welcome. いらっしゃいませ. You'll hear this when you go into any store. If you're walking around in the mall, people will be shouting it out from their different little store fronts. いらっしゃいませ. Welcome. メニューをご覧になりますか? Would you like to have a look at the menu? ご覧になる。ご覧になりますか? Would you like to have a look at the menu? Yeah, sure. All right. So, question time. Lift up and exalt your pet, partner, friend, or imaginary friend by using an honorific to describe what they are doing. In my case, 映画をご覧になっていらっしゃいます. So I went double keigo there. Double honorific there. Our next section is respectful commands in Japanese, and they're not referred to as respectful commands in the lesson. They're referred to as, I believe, giving advice, respectful
So-
advice. But in reality, this kind of language is more of a command.
Maybe
And
it's you
Genki does
expected.
point this out. It's just not in the title. But it's more like a command, and it's telling you to do something for your own good. Like,
I'm not going to
if you
remember
don't do this,
the
you're gonna regret it. It's
Genki.
kind of what it implies. But so you should think of it like a command. You're gonna hear this quite a bit, like on trains and train stations, when people are giving instructions. But it's respectful.
Here's a link to what Yuki was talking about. Typical hotel language. This is my absolute favorite resource, but most stuff is paid only. However, this should be one of the free articles. Satori. So these are stories.
いらっしゃいませ。
チェックインしたいんですが、
かしこまりました。ご予約はございますか？
はい、あります。
お名前をお伺いできますか？
松本京子です。
少々お待ちください。はい。松本様でいらっしゃいますね。お待ちしておりました。本日から3泊、2名様のご宿泊で承っております。ご予約した際のクレジットカードを確認させていただけますか？
はい。
お部屋は
お部屋は
506号室になります。こちらがカードキーになります。
カードに
2枚ご用意しております。右手にエレベーターがございますので、
エレベーターエレベーター。
5階に上がっていただいて、左手になります。
左 on the left。
また、松本様のご宿泊プランには、朝食がついておりますので、朝の6時から9時の間、1階のレストラン、竹にて、お食事をお取りいただけます。
わかりました。あ、チェックアウトは何時ですか？
午前11時になります。
あと、この辺りで美味しい焼肉とお寿司を食べられるレストランはありますか？
食べられるレストランがありますか？
こちらから徒歩3分のところに、焼肉真鍋というミシュランにも選ばれた焼肉店がございます。お寿司ですと、徒歩5分のところに、寿司五郎という評判のいいお寿司。
I can recognize a lot of words. There are really useful notes if you click on the words that are dotted or solid.
寿司屋さんがございますが、こちらはいつも混み合っておられるようです。
OK、いらっしゃいませ。
チェックインしたいんですが、
したいですが。
分のところに、寿司五郎という評判のいいお寿司屋さんがございますが、こちらはいつも混み合っておられるようですので、ご予約をお入れした方がよろしいかと思います。こちらにホテル周辺の地図がございますので、焼肉店とお寿司屋さんの場所に丸印をお付けしておきますね。
ああ、それは助かります。
それから、こちらはこのホテル周辺のレストラン一覧になりますので、一緒にお渡ししておきます。ご予約が必要な際は、1階にあるコンシェルジュで24時間対応させていただいておりますので、ぜひお立ち寄りください。
それは便利ですね。ありがとうございます。
どうぞごゆっくりお過ごしくださいませ。
Very, very nice. And the dots at the end of each line shows the English translation. Please enjoy your stay. So, yeah, Benri means convenient. That's convenient. Arigatou gozaimasu. I can recognize a lot of words, but some sentences I can't translate them. Maybe I need some time in my head to translate. But yeah, very nice. Very nice article. So this is how they speak with the hotel you are trying to say. I could just tell them 簡単な日本語でお願いします。簡単な日本語でお願いします。 I'm leaving for a walk. See you on Getsuyobi. So, bye-bye, Sensei V. Getsuyobi is Monday. Gambatte. Thank you very much. I will wait for you until Monday. Until Monday, we will be almost finished with Genki, with this playlist. So, yeah, gambatte and have fun. And send us some pictures of Athens. You know, I've never been to Athens, by the way. I've never seen Athens. Send us pictures of Parthenonas. But anyways, yeah, very, very nice website.
And it sounds like they're saying please, but it's a forceful
More
please,
gambatte.
but respectfully. So let's see how we do it. So for regular old verbs, just anything that's not included in the honorific verbs above, and not a suru verb, so not like ryori suru.
Say hello to Parthenonas from me, Sensei Vic.
Benkyou suru, not like that, just regular old verbs. You're going to take o, which is the honorific, the vima stem, so the ma stem of a verb, and kudasai. So for example, okiki kudasai, that's please listen. Okiki kudasai. Kikimasu, so the verb stem is kiki. Masu, you don't need the mas, it's just the stem. Okiki kudasai. Okay, the o is the honorific prefix, I guess is what you would call it. For pseudo verbs, you're going to take go. Go benkyou. I've never heard that before. Go benkyou kudasai. 違うよね。違います. For most pseudo verbs like goran kudasai and stuff like that. Honorific verbs with ninaru, like I believe oyasumi ninaru, oyasumi kudasai, and things like that. We'll go over some examples in a minute. But so for the nouns up above, goran, go chui suru. There's not all pseudo verbs take this go noun kudasai. There's just a few, and they're covered in the book. But like go chui kudasai is a very common one. Goran kudasai, things like that. So not all pseudo verbs, just the ones that are mentioned here. Omachi kudasai. Please wait. You're gonna hear this one a lot. Omachi kudasai. Omachi kudasai.
Wait.
Go chui kudasai. Please be careful. You're gonna hear this one all the time. You're gonna see it on walls all over the place when there's a slippery floor or a door that doesn't open or a space between the opening door on the train and the platform. Go chui kudasai. Please be careful. But it's like a command, right? And this is wait. It's please wait, but it's wait. Okiki kudasai. Please listen. I said that one earlier. Goran kudasai. Please watch. Some more lengthy examples with these words. Tadaima Ando ga denwa ni dete iru node omachi kudasai. Right now, Ando is on the phone, so please wait. Tadaima Ando ga denwa ni dete iru node omachi kudasai. We didn't put Ando-san because when you're lifting the people you're talking to up, you're not going to be lifting the person in your company or your friend up as well by putting honorifics on their name. So, Tadaima Ando ga denwa ni dete iru node omachi kudasai. The reason that we didn't use san for Ando-san there is because in the situation I imagine there, Ando-san is my friend or my business partner or something. And the person I'm speaking to, obviously I'm exalting because, you don't exalt people in your own company, generally speaking, when you're speaking to people outside the company, especially. So when you're speaking to people outside of your company and you're talking about people within your company, you don't refer to the people within your company using honorifics. San, sama, those are honorifics. They raise up the person you're speaking about. So you don't use them. You just use the name. So Ando-san becomes Ando. So that's why you don't use san, because we have to keep the people within our plane down below the person we're speaking about or speaking to. Please wait. So this is also honorifics we're talking about here, guys. So these are things you're probably not going to be using anytime soon, but you will hear and see them on signs a lot. So learn to recognize them. O ashimoto ni go chui kudasai. This is the one you're going to hear getting off the train if there's a space between the door and the platform. O ashimoto ni go chui kudasai, or if there's a step or something like that. This means please watch your step. Literally, it means be careful of your feet. basically. Be careful of your feet. O ashimoto. But we just colored this as please watch your step. 我々の新曲をお聴きください. Please listen to our new song. 我々 is our, or we, or something like that. Very sort of archaic, but very polite and still quite common actually, especially when using honorifics. 我々の新曲をお聴きください. Please listen to our new song. Dialogue. Not going over too much on this because literally it's just learn to recognize. Waiter. こちらへおかけください。じゃあ、鹿バーガー2つください。お飲み物も召し上がりますか？コーヒー2つちょうだい。コーヒーは熱いのでご注意ください。申し訳ありませんが、鹿バーガーはあと一つになってしまいました。どうなさいますか？
どうなさいますか？
Full speed. こちらへおかけください。じゃあ、鹿バーガー2つください。お飲み物も召し上がりますか？コーヒー2つちょうだい。コーヒーは熱いのでご注意ください。申し訳ありませんが、鹿バーガーはあと一つになってしまいました。どうなさいますか？ Let's go with that English. こちらへおかけください。Please sit here. おかけ。
こちらへおかけください。
かける is the verb that is used often in honorific language to mean sit. So this was not covered in the last section, but かける、おかけください or おかけになるかな？おかけになるだよね。はい。おかけになる is the honorific of sit down. So it's not 座る. Although you can say お座りくださいかな。But おかけください is more common. こちらへおかけください. You're going to hear this one a lot if you're at the bank and they want you to sit down while they fill out your papers because they can never do anything right on the spot. They have to make you sit down and they talk to like 17 people and then they write some papers out and they give you 6 forms to fill out and then they tell you to sit and wait. So おかけください. Same thing if you go to a restaurant. They're going to tell you to sit down at the table. おかけください. You're going to hear that one a lot. じゃあ、鹿バーガー. Welp, I'll have a venison burger. If you don't know what venison is, that is deer. A deer burger. 鹿バーガー. Shika is very popular in Japan right now. It's been popular for the past couple of years now, at least up here in the north. Deer meat has become quite popular in the past few years. It's been sort of a fancy thing. There's deer meat restaurants. One of my favorite burger restaurants has shikabaga.
Deer.
And it's very, very good. So I figured you should learn that word. It's not in the book. It's not in the book.
It's
I don't
deer.
believe, but it's just shika is deer. In English, we differentiate the word deer, the animal, from the meat type, which is venison. But in Japanese, it's just
Why do you eat deer?
shikabaga 2つください. 2 venison
Shikabaga.
burgers, please.
Why do you eat deer?
召し上がりますか? Would you also like anything to drink? Now you'll notice here I put an o before 飲み物. Now with some words, when you're speaking in honorific language, you will put honorific characters before certain nouns. One of them would be 飲み物, お飲み物, ご本. I believe 飲み物, so I believe Japanese words, native, quote, Japanese words take o, and words that come from other countries, generally speaking China or something like that, take go. I believe that's the correct situation. So, by the way, the character for both of those is this right here. Go, or, well, in this case, it's o banana. So it's o and go. This is actually the whole character, but the last part of it is a banana. And this is merch. It's available in the merch store. There's a link down in the description. お飲み物も召し上がりますか? Would you also like anything to drink?
召し上がりますか?
Two coffees, please. ちょうだい is a very casual, informal version of ください. You'll hear it a lot among family and friends and stuff. And a shacho talking to a waiter, that's definitely not unusual. コーヒーは熱いのでご注意ください. The coffee is hot, so please be careful. ご注意ください. You don't have to be careful, but it's for your own good. Be careful. command. 申し訳ありませんが. This is like the super polite version of すみません. 申し訳ありませんが.
申し訳ありませ
The
ん
literal
が。
translation is kind of, I don't have any excuse. But think of it as like, I'm very, very sorry, but. 申し訳ありませんが. 鹿バーガーは
鹿バーガーは
あと一つに
あ
なっ
と一
て
つにな
しまいま
ってし
した。
まいました。
どうなさいますか？
どうなさいますか？
どうしますか becomes どうなさいますか So I'm so sorry, but there's only one venison burger remaining. あと一つになってしまいました。So this person is regretful that there's only one left.
あと一つになってしまいました。
なってしまいました。
どう
And
な
we're
さい
still
ます
using
か？
honorific, so どうするんじゃなくてどうなさいますか What would you like to do? Question time. Command us, Yukina, to do something. Respectfully. 新曲をお聴きください。
お聞きください。
Let's jump into saying thank you for...
Okay, 5 minutes break. I take the plates to wash. Okay, back to learning.
for specific things. Every section from here on out in this lesson is much more straightforward. It's just a very simple single point grammar point that you can use right away and that will actually be useful to you in day-to-day life. And this is one of them. This is how to say thank you for specific things in Japanese. So, for
Thank you for.
regular verbs, and when you're talking to friends or family or just regular people, all you need to do to say thank you for a specific thing is to take the te form of the verb and add kurete arigato. Gozaimashita is optional. This lesson in Genki teaches just kurete arigato, but it's technically arigato gozaimasu. You technically do need the whole thing.
So, te form plus kurete arigato. Kurete arigato. Te form plus kurete arigato. Arigato.
You can drop gozaimasu if
My
it is
hiragana writing has become much better. It's like I see the character and it's beautiful. Like it's like I am writing English or Greek.
friends. You can say, 作ってくれてありがとう. Thank you for making it. But you can also say, 作ってくれてありがとうございます. Thank you for making it. And the only other thing that they pointed in this lesson is ございました, which is くれてありがとうございました, which means that the thing that they did for you is finished. But if it's still an ongoing thing, or if you're still in the process of experiencing whatever it is that they did for you, you would use gozaimasu. So I'll go into some examples with that. Don't worry about it too much, but we'll get into it. For honorific verbs, since we did go over honorifics today, you would take the te form, くださってありがとうございました, or ありがとうございます, depending on whether this is ongoing, or if it's a finished thing that they did for you. So, 作ってくださってありがとうございました. So you're talking to someone, raising them up. くださる. Remember, it's the くださる is the honorific version of くれる, which is to receive from someone. So くださってありがとうございました. Some examples. Oh, I used 作って. Who would have known?
ありがとう。
作って
ありがとう。What?
くれる, which is to receive from someone. So くださってありがとうございました.
くださってありがとうございました。ありがとうございました。ありがとうございました。Okay.
ございました。Some examples. Oh, I used 作って。Who would have known? 作ってくれてありがとう. So I'm going to go over the different levels here.
ありがとう。
作ってくれてありがとう. Thanks for making it. 作ってくださってありがとうございました. Thank you so much for making it. And it's finished. Maybe I've already eaten whatever it is. 作ってくださってありがとうございます. Thank you so much for making it, but maybe they're still making it.
Ooh, it's cold.
So maybe, yeah, a person is making something for me. Maybe they're making, I don't know, instructions on how to do a certain thing at the, who knows, doesn't matter. And they're still making it. And I want to thank them for making it while they're making it, then we're going to use gozaimasu. I just wanted to, the only reason I'm making a deal out of this is because Genki only actually mentions gozaimashita, but you can use gozaimasu, and that's when the thing is still going on, generally speaking. Either one would be perfectly well understood, and I wouldn't really consider it a mistake if you used one in the, quote, wrong situation. Either one is fine. Some more complicated sentences. We have パーティーに呼んでくれてありがとう. Thanks for inviting me to the
呼んで
party.
くれてありがとう。
年賀状を送ってくださってありがとうございました。Thank you so much for sending me a New Year's card. Now, in the States, I don't know about Europe and whatnot, but we send out Christmas cards, right? Not everyone, but a lot of people send out Christmas cards. And in Japan, everyone sends out nengajo, which are New Year's cards. And it's basically a postcard. I don't know if we have any in the room, but it's basically just a postcard. And it's maybe got a picture of the family on the back or a short little message, and you send it to everyone you know, basically. And if you get one back, or if you get one in the mail and you didn't send one out to them for New Year's, you actually have to send one after the fact. So like, if we say got 10 nengajo from a bunch of different people that we didn't send out any this year, frankly. And because we've been reclusive and haven't really hung out with anyone the entire year. So mostly because of working on all this. But so if we got 10 nengajo, we would have to send 10 back. Despite it being New Year's is finished, we get them on New Year's Day, send them back out. So we were actually at Yuki's parents' house for New Year's this year, and they got at, I believe it was 7 or 8 in the morning. 7 or 8 in the morning, I think, yeah. The post office drove up on their little motorcycles with a stack of postcards this thick. That's how many postcards they received. So they have to go through every single one of them, make sure they had already sent some to those people, and if they haven't, they have to send one back. And those are called nengajo wo okutte kudasatte arigatou gozaimashita. Thank you so much for sending me a New Year's card. いつも手伝ってくださって本当にありがとうございます。Excuse me, so you remember, this is very similar to てすみませんでした. Remember when we were apologizing for specific things? Well, it's the same idea here, but we're doing it with thanking for specific things. So it's てすみませんでした. Sorry for a specific thing. This is てありがとうございました or ありがとうございます. Well, when we did the てすみませんでした, I mentioned how when you're really sorry, you can add 本当に. You can do the same thing when you're really thankful. So, 手伝ってくださって本当にありがとうございます。Just go right there between the て and the ありがとうございます。本当にありがとうございます。or 本当にありがとうございました。いつも手伝ってくださって本当にありがとうございます。Thank you so much for always helping me. Listeners helping us pointed out by いつも. So いつも means they help me all the time. They're probably going to help me in the future. So instead of ございました, which would imply that they're never going to help me again, we're using ございます. Dialogue time. Slowly one time. Then at full speed, then we'll go over the English. Then I'll answer any questions you might have, and you get to answer my question. そうですか。そうですか。では、チーズバーガーにします。大丈夫だよ。私はベジバーガーにします。あら鹿バーガーを譲ってくださってありがとうございます。いいよ。この店にしてくれてありがとう。しまった。飛行機に乗り遅れてしまいます。乗り遅れてしまいます。フォースピード。そうですか。では、チーズバーガーにします。大丈夫だよ。私はベジバーガーにします。あら鹿バーガーを譲ってくださってありがとうございます。いいよ。この店にしてくれてありがとう。しまった。飛行機に乗り遅れてしまいます。Let's go with the English. そうですか。Oh, really? そうですか。では、well then. チーズバーガーにします。I'll have a cheeseburger. Remember, the Shika burgers, there's only one left, and we ordered 2. 大丈夫だよ. It's okay. You don't have to. 私はベジバーガーにします。I'll have the veggie burger. He's supposed to be a vegetarian anyway. あら Huh? This is a little bit later. So, it's a new verb. This doesn't show up in Genki at all, I don't believe, but I find it very useful, especially when you're hiking. 鹿バーガーを譲ってくださってありがとうございます。So, thank you so much for letting me have the venison burger. 譲る. This can also mean to let someone else go ahead. So that's where I first learned this. I first learned this hiking. People were getting up on my tail, and I figured I should let them go. So I asked the person I was with, I said, how do I say that? And they taught me, 譲る. 譲ってあげる. Let them pass. 譲ってくださってありがとうございました. So thank you for letting me have the venison burger. It literally translates to, thank you for passing on the venison burger for me. The くださって implies the for me. Thank you for passing it up for me. 譲る。いいよ。この店にしてくれてありがとう。It's okay. Thanks for choosing this restaurant. I think he chose it. しまった。Oh no! 飛行機に乗り遅れてしまいます。We're gonna miss the plane! 飛行機に乗り遅れる。乗り遅れてしまいます。Question time. Okay. Say thank you to someone in chat or to us for anything. It can be silly. 聞いてくれてありがとう. Thank you
聞いてくれてありがとう。勇気、ベンゼッカ、pretentious 聞いてくれて
for
ありがと
coming.
う。先生
聞いてくれ
V。
てありがとう. Don't worry, there's 2 more sections. All right, so
Wait,
that-
what does 聞いてくれて mean? Thank you for coming?
for coming. 聞いてくれ
Thank
て
you for
あり
coming. 聞いてくれてありがとう。聞いてくれてありがとう。
がとう. Don't worry, there's 2 more sections. All right, so that brings us on to the
聞いて
next
くれ
section,
て
which is
あり
not
が
that
とう。
bad. It's how to say I'm glad I did something in Japanese. It's quite easy if you know the te form. All it is I'm glad I did. Te form plus yokatta desu. So yokatta is the past form of e,
I'm glad I.
which is good. So it literally means it's good that I did such and such a thing.
I'm glad I did.
So te form,
Te form,
yokatta desu.
te
I'm
form.
glad I did. Whatever the te form verb is. You can also say that you're glad
Plus
you did not
yokatta desu.
do things by saying, taking the negative verb stem. So, for example, taberu, the negative verb stem is tabe, and then you add nai, right? So you take the stem, tabe, and
I'm
add
glad I didn't. I'm glad I didn't. Negative stem plus なくてよかったです。I'm glad I didn't. Glad I didn't. Negative stem. Negative stem, which is the must stem or don't know, stem plus なくて
なくてよかった. So 食べなくてよかった or 話す the verb
Wait.
ない. Taberu, the negative verb stem is tabe, and then you add nai, right? So you take the stem, tabe, and add なくてよかった. So 食べなくてよかった or 話す the verb, the negative stem is 話さ. So you go up to the a column, right? 話さない。So 話さ, that's the stem.
Why is it
なくて
cold? Why
よ
am
か
I
ったで
cold?
す.
I've
話さなくてよかったです. So here's your sentences.
Some people
食
when
べ
they
て
eat
よかった. I'm
they
so glad I
sweat.
ate.
They get hot.
食べなく
But when I
てよ
eat
か
I
っ
get
た.
cold.
I'm so glad I didn't eat. 行ってよかったです. I'm glad I went, or I'm happy I went.
I have a friend when
Literally,
he
it's
eats
good that I went.
he sweats. Like he gets hot. But when I eat I get cold.
I'm so glad I didn't eat. 行ってよかったです. I'm glad I went, or I'm happy I went. Literally, it's good that I went. 行かなくてよかったです。
行かなくてよかったです。
行かなくてよかったです。I'm glad that I didn't go. Some more complicated sentences. 去年あんまり飲まなくてよかったと思います。I think it's great, or I'm glad that I didn't drink much last year. 去年あんまり飲まなくてよかったと思います。I didn't drink much alcohol last year, and I'm very, very happy about that. 去年あんまり飲まなくてよかったと思います。I think it's true. 年末に家族とスカイプしてよかったです。I'm glad I Skyped with my family over the New Year's holidays. 年末. 年末 is the beginning of the year, I guess. Or the end of the year? Beginning of the year? Yeah. New Year's holidays, the end of the year, ね. So we talked to them before. 年末に家族とスカイプしてよかったです。So just like in English, Skype is a verb. In Japanese, it's a suru verb. スカイプする。東南アジアに行って本当によかった。I'm truly glad I went to Southeast Asia. I forgot the color truly. Just like in the last section, you can throw 本当に between て and よかった. Just like you can between て and すみませんでした and て and ありがとうございます. And it has the same type of meaning. I'm really, really glad, or I'm truly happy. 東南アジアに行って本当によかった. So the des is of course optional. It makes it a little bit more polite to have the des. I'm truly glad I went to Southeast Asia. So, dialogue, I'll read it slowly one time, then at full speed, then I'll go over the English and I'll get to your questions and
間に合ってよかっ
answer
た
mine.
ですね。
Here we go. 間に合ってよかったですね。そうだね。 ベジバー
ベジバ
ガー
ーガー
食べれて
よかった。シカバーガーも
美味
美
しか
味しか
っ
ったた
で。
ですす。
席
席
は
は
こちらだそうです。
です。
はーい。荷物を入れてくれてありがとう。
ありが
Full
と
speed。
う。
間に合ってよかったですね
よ。かったですね。
そうだね。
そうだね
ベジバーガー食べれてよかっ
ベジバーガー食べれてよか
た。
った
鹿バーガーも美味しかったで
美味しかっ
す。
たです。
席はこちらだそうです。
こちらだそうです。
はーい。荷物を入れてくれてありがとう。
ありがとう。
Go with the English. 間に合ってよかったです。間に合う means to be on time or to make it on time. 間に合ってよかった。I'm glad we made it. It's good that we arrived in time, isn't it? そうだね。For sure. ベジバーガー食べれてよかった。I'm glad I ate that veggie burger. 食べれて, so it's the potential. I was able to. I'm glad I was able to eat the veggie burger would be the literal translation of this. ベジバーガー食べれてよかった。I'm glad that I was able to eat the veggie burger. 鹿バーガーも美味しかったです。Yeah, the venison burger was good too. 席はこちらだそうです。It seems our seats are here. こちら is over here. はーい。OK. 荷物を入れてくれてありがとう。Thanks for putting my bags in the overhead is implied here because we're on a plane. 荷物を入れてくれてありがとう. So that's from the last section. Question time. Tell me about something you are happy you had the chance to do at any time in your life. For me, 東南アジアに行ってよかった。I'm glad I went to Southeast Asia.
日本語を初めてよかった。or 日本語を始める。I'm glad I started learning. To learn is 練習 I think. Well, I'm glad I started learning Japanese.
All right, guys. So let's go ahead and jump onto I expected or I expect that such and such is true, or something is, I suppose that this is true, I expect that this is true. There's a few different ways it goes over in Genki, but the one that I find is the most accurate in my experience is I expect that something is true in Japanese, which is hazu. So I expect that something is true. You take the short form of a verb or an adjective or an adjective or noun and add hazu desu, which means I expect that this thing is true. With verbs, you just take the short form. Past tense is fine, present tense. Hazu desu. Adjectives, just like they are, sono mamma hazu desu. For na adjectives, you add na hazu desu. So kirei na hazu desu. For nouns, no hazu desu. So ando no hazu desu. I believe it's ando. Or something like that. You could also say, I believe that something is true would be another good way to say it as opposed to
I expect that is true. I expect that short form is true. I expect. So hazu means I expect. But wait, hazu doesn't it mean should? Expect that short form is true. Wait, hazu means should, or so verbs are short form plus hazu. Let's see examples. Hazu. I know hazu. I've seen it so many times in Anki. Okay. Verb e adjective. Adjective is e adjective plus hazu. Hazu desu. An adjective. Oh. Na adjective. Adjective plus na plus はず です。Nouns. Noun plus no. Nouns plus no plus はず。plus はずです。plus はずです。Okay.
To expect. So some example sentences to see what this means a little bit better is ドアを閉めたはずです。I'm pretty sure I closed the door. So this is how you would express something like that. So maybe I expect that such and such is true is sort of hard to get a grasp on why you would want to use something like that. In English, we don't really say I expect that I closed the door is true. We don't say that, but a more natural English for that would be I'm pretty sure I closed the door. And not like, oh crap, did I close it? I'm pretty sure I did. Not like that. Like, I'm pretty sure. Like, I'm almost positive. 99% positive. There's this small chance that I didn't, but I'm almost positive. I'm almost positive I closed the door. ドアを閉めたはずです. So we got the short form past tense of 閉めた. Next sentence is an e adjective. We have おいしいはずだ. So the this is optional. It could also be da short form. Any of that is fine. はずだ. I expect it tastes good. パリは綺麗なはずです. I believe Paris is supposed to be beautiful. So this is the supposed to be. You don't use this はず to be like I'm supposed to do something. That's when you're going to use things like べき or なければいけません, stuff like that. This is I suppose this to be true. Just want to point that out really quickly. Sort of a weird explanation there. But パリは綺麗なはずです. I'm pretty sure that Paris is beautiful. 安藤さんは日本人のはずです. You know, I'm almost positive that 安藤さん is Japanese. 安藤さんは日本人のはずだ. Yo. Some more complicated sentences. 一人しか入れないはずです. I believe only one person can go in. Implied here is at a time. しか only plus negative. しか入れない means only one person or one person. Yeah, only one person can go in. 入れないはずです. So once again, short form negative. You can also use negatives to say you expect that something is not the case. In this case, can not go in. But short form. 面白いはずだったけど。面白いはずだったけど。そうじゃなかったね。そうじゃなかったね。I was sure it was or would be good, but that wasn't the case, was it? 面白いはずだった. I was positive, almost positive it was going to be good. That's why we have the past tense here. But そうじゃなかった. That was not the case. 友達が飲み物を持ってくるはずでしたが持ってこなかった。どうしよう。I expected that my friend would bring drinks, but they didn't. どうしよう. What should I do? Let's go ahead and jump into the dialogue. I'll go over it slowly once, then at full speed, and then I'll go over it in English. I'll get to your questions, and you can answer mine. お昼出るけ。1時間後に。
小さいつけ is when you try to recall something. お昼で、I don't know what お昼で means, but 小さいつ is when you try to recall something. You try to remember something.
あるはずです。あ、よかった。
よかった。
お肉があるかな。鹿か野菜が選べるみたいです。鹿2つで申し訳ありませんが、鹿はあと1つになってしまいました。どうなさいますか？ Full speed. お昼出るっけ？1時間後にあるはずです。あ、よかった。お肉があるかな？鹿か野菜が選べるみたいです。鹿2つで。申し訳ありませんが、鹿はあと1つになってしまいました。どうなさいますか？ go over the English. Ohiru derukke. I forget.
derukke.
Is there lunch? So this small tsu plus ke
Okay.
means that I forgot. I forget. I knew it at one time,
But I forgot.
but I forget now. So can you please explain this to me? I actually did a whole video on this little grammar point, sort of slangy, but I did a whole video on it. It's called forgetfulness, I believe. It's got my face like this on the screen. So if you want to learn more about it, there's a video somewhere on my channel. I believe it's in the short grammar lessons playlist. So ohiru derukke means I forget. Is there lunch on this plane? Ke. So you just put ke after the short form of just about anything. So tabetakke. Did I eat? Something like that, right? 1時間後にあるはずです。I believe it's in 1 hour, or I expect that it's true that it's in 1 hour. I'm pretty sure. あ、よかった。お肉があるかな？Ah, good. I wonder if there's meat with a singing sound. 鹿か野菜が選べるみたいです。It
Music
appears
is
that
like
you can
Japanese
choose
is like
選べる
music.
Venison or vegetables. This is a fancy plane, but it is the president of a company, so I guess that could be true. He's happy. 鹿2つで We'll have 2 venisons. 申し訳ありませんが、鹿はあと1つになってしまいました。どうなさいますか？ I'm sorry, but there's only 1 venison. Not a burger. It's not a burger. There's only 1 venison remaining. What would you like to do? You'll remember this sentence showed up earlier. Shacho doesn't get any venison left today. He's going to give it to Yuki again. Hopefully Yuki will give it to him. The question for this section is, what is something you believe is true about next week? 来週雪が降るはずです。I believe that it will snow next week. Thumbs up を攻撃してください。
Next week.
Please.
来週
For this sentence showed up. Hope about next week.
来週日本語にの来週 N4 わかります。We will understand N4 and 4. Okay, so done with lesson 18. So tomorrow we do. No, today we actually finished lesson 19. It's day 19. So we finished lesson 19 and tomorrow is lesson 20. We are moving fast.
Good evening.
Okay, so only 1, 2, 3, 4 lessons and we complete. So 4 days. Wait, 4 days, which means tomorrow is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So Monday we complete Genki. Okay. Okay, so 4 more days, 4 more days, 4 more videos, and 4 more lessons. Let's just do the Anki.
その時これがなければ困るでしょ。
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 その時これがなければ困るでしょ。If that is not there when this we are in trouble something. If at that time this item is not there, we are in trouble. Ah, okay.
その時これがなければ困るでしょ。
If this item at that time is not there, なければ困るでしょ。We're in trouble. If at that time その時 this これなければ is not there, we're in trouble.
悲しみに負けてはならない。
悲しみに負けてはならない。悲しみに負けてはならない。Don't be defeated by sorrow.
悲しみに負けてはならない。
悲しみに負けてはならない。Don't be defeated by sorrow. A remark on the potential. Okay, I don't need it. 僕は
君のこと何も知らないんだな。僕は君のこと何も知らないんだな。僕は君のこと何も知らないんだな。僕は君のこと 何も知らないんだな。僕は君のこと何も知らないんだな。
Okay. Okay.
喧嘩をしてはいけませんよ。
喧嘩をしてはいけませんよ。喧嘩をしてはいけませんよ。You must not fight. You must not fight. You must not argue. Argue.
すべての
すべての
問題は
問題は人間の心から来るんだよ。すべての問題は人間の心から来るんだよ。すべての問題は人間の心から来るんだよ。すべての問題は Wait. 新世界より Wait, this is the name of the cartoon? Shin Sekai Yori. Looks like a happy cartoon. Or no, maybe not. Lot of... Okay. すべての問題は人間の心から来るんだよ。
全然大丈夫じゃありませんでしたよ。
全然大丈夫じゃありませんでしたよ。Don Quixote, Don Quixote. Wait, it's like it's like in Luffy in Wait, Don Quixote. Wait, it's Quixote. I forgot the name. How do they say the name? The one with the glasses. Don. No, probably it's not because. No, it's not. So the one from Luffy. The string fruit. Anyways. Don Quixote. 全然大丈夫じゃありませんでしたよ。全然大丈夫じゃありませんでしたよ。全然大丈夫じゃありませんでしたよ。
笑ってしまう。
笑ってしまう。笑ってしまう。to laugh。
相手は強くなっていく。
相手は強くなっていく。Your opponent will become strong. Your opponent continues to become stronger.
久しぶりだな、先生。
久しぶりだな、先生。久しぶりだな。
やられるぞ。
やられるぞ。I don't know what that is. I will be killed, physically harmed.
やってみないとわかんないでしょ。
やってみないとわかんないでしょ。やってみないとわかんないでしょ。If we don't try to do it, physical action, we will not understand.
失うものは大きいぞ。
失うものは大きいぞ。失うものは大きいぞ。
絶対に見つけるから。
絶対に見つけるから。絶対に見つけるから。Because it's visible. Because it is visible. We are able to see it.
一番好きだった服だ。
一番好きだった服だ。一番好きだった服だ。These are my favorite clothes.
失うものは
大きいぞ。
返事が欲しい。
返事が欲しい。返事が欲しい。I want an answer.
返事が欲しい。
返事が欲しい。I want an answer.
大丈夫。
大丈夫。
僕がいる。
大丈夫。僕がいる。大丈夫。僕がいる。
なぜ嘘をつく。
なぜ嘘をつく。なぜ嘘をつく。Why do you lie?
ここにおります。
ここにおります。ここにおります。We get off here.
みんなやられた。
みんなやられた。Everyone was killed. They got all of us.
僕を殺せば全てが終わる。
僕を殺せば全てが終わる。僕を殺せば全てが終わる。
殺すことになってしまう。殺すことになってしまう。
殺すことになってしまう。殺すことになってしまう。殺すことになってしまう。You will kill me or something.
彼女は私の大事な仲間だ。
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 私の大事な仲間。仲間 means colleague or partner or something. Okay, I'll be gone for a while to eat. Okay, take care, Yuki. Take care. I will also be finished like 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, and I will be over. I will go to sleep also. So yeah, thank you for coming by. I'll just finish this Anki and also go. 彼女は私の大事な仲間だ。彼女は私の大事な仲間だ。Okay, then see you tomorrow. また明日。また明日。彼女は私の大事な仲間だ。She is my partner or colleague.
いってらっしゃい。
いってらっしゃい。Bye bye or something.
絶対にバレてはいけない。
絶対にバレてはいけない。It must not be exposed.
すべてがわかる。
すべてがわかる。I don't understand everything. すべてがわかる。
ここにいるじゃないですか。
ここにいるじゃないですか。Isn't he supposed to be here?
僕を殺せばすべてが終わる。
僕を殺せばすべてが終わる。
その時、これがなければ困るでしょ。
その時、これがなければ困るでしょ。その時、これがなければ困るでしょ。That if this is not there at that time, we're in trouble.
僕は
君のこと
何も知らないんだ。
僕は君のこと何も知らない。
悲しみに負けてはならない。
悲しみに負けてはならない。
すべての問題
は
人間の心から来るんだよ。
すべての問題は人間の心。
やられるぞ。
I'll be killed.
大丈夫。
僕
がいる。
大丈夫。
僕を殺せばすべてが終わる。
僕を殺せばすべてが終わる。
全然大丈夫じゃありませんでしたよ。
全然大丈夫じゃありませんでしたよ。
なぜ嘘をつく。
返事が欲しい。
I want an answer.
失うものは大きいぞ。
返事が欲しい。I want an answer. 仕事が忙しいです。近く？
最近仕事が忙しいです。
最近仕事が忙しいです。I've been busy at work. 最近。Of course. 最近どう？駅は something です。
駅は禁煙です。
駅は禁煙です。10年ぐらいしています。
10年ぐらい経済を研究しています。
10年ぐらい経済を研究しています。I have been researching economics for about 10 years. 研究する。10年ぐらい経済を研究しています。Okay. 右に曲げます。曲がります。
信号を左に曲がります。
信号を左に曲がります。I'll take a left at the traffic light. 信号を左に曲がります。早く寝た方がいいですよ。
早く寝た方がいいですよ。
早く寝た方がいいですよ。Should go to sleep early. 早く寝た方がいいですよ。メガネに座ります。椅子に座ります。
椅子に座ります。
椅子に座ります。
椅子に座ります。椅子に座ります。
椅子に座ります。ダイエットをしています。
ダイエットをしています。
ダイエットをしています。Don't know what that is.
冷蔵庫。
冷蔵庫、冷蔵庫。ファンさん、しぶりですね。久しぶりですね。ファンさん、久しぶりですね。モッキー先生、お久しぶりです。
ホアンさん、
鈴木です。
久しぶりですね。
あ、鈴木先生。
鈴木先生、
お久しぶりです。
お久しぶりです。ご注文は他にご注文をコーヒーをお願いします。
他にご注文は
ご注文は
コーヒーをお願いします。
ごコーヒーをお願いします。18歳。18歳です。年を取ります。取ります。
80歳です。
年を取ります。
年を取りました。
年を取りました。年を取りました。18歳です。年を取りました。grown old。生き方を説明してください。説明してください。生き方を説明してください。
生き方を説明してください。
説明してください。田舎が好きです。
田舎が好きです。
田舎が好きです。行きます。
病院へ行きます。
病院へ行きます。病院へ行きます。これを左に押すとお湯が出ます。これを左に押すとお湯が出ます。お湯が出ます。
これを左に回すとお湯が出ます。
回すと、押すと。電気を消します。電気を消します。
電気を消します。
電気を消します。このアパートは駅から遠いです。不便です。
このアパートは駅から遠いです。
遠いです。
不便です。
不便です。アメリカの大学で勉強します。
アメリカの高校で勉強します。
アメリカの高校で勉強します。図書館で本を借ります。
図書館で本を借ります。
借りる。体の調子はどうですか？良くなりました。
体の調子はどうですか？
調子はどうですか？
おかげさまで良くなりました。
良くなりました。友達が国へ帰りました。寂しいです。
友達が国へ帰りました。寂しいです。
友達が国へ帰りました。寂しいです。自動販売機でタバコを買います。自動販売機でタバコを買います。
自動販売機でタバコを買います。
毎日、something します。something ですね。
毎日残業します。
残業します。
大変ですね。
大変ですね。毎日残業します。大変ですね。昨日は雪でした。昨日は雪でした。
昨日は雪でした。
雪でした。昨日は雪でした。図書館に本を押します。返します。
図書館に本を返します。
返します。図書館に本を返します。インターネットで日本のこと を調べました。インターネットで日本のことを調べました。インターネットで日本のことを調べました。
インターネットで日本のことを調べました。
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 Okay. ここでタバコを吸わないでください。
ここでタバコを吸わないでください。
吸わないでください。毎日掃除します。掃除します。
毎日掃除します。
毎日掃除します。掃除します。一人で大丈夫ですか？はい。
一人で大丈夫ですか？
はい。
一人で大丈夫ですか？はい。警察？
警察官。
警察官。
おまわりさん。
警察官。おまわりさん。疲れましたね。少し休みましょう。はい。疲れましたね。少し休みましょう。はい。
疲れましたね。少し休みましょう。
はい。
この橋を渡ります。
この橋を渡ります。
この橋を渡ります。Okay. 絵が多いです。No, I know this one. 緑、green, greenery in this case. 鎌倉は緑が多いです。
鎌倉は緑が多いです。
鎌倉は緑が多いです。ここは something が不便です。
ここは交通が不便です。
交通が不便です。ここは交通が不便です。暗証番号を押してください。暗証番号。
次に暗証番号を押してください。
次に暗証番号を押してください。Then enter a pin. 次に。ここに荷物をください。置いてください。
ここに荷物を置いてください。
置いてください。something になりたいです。
将来、研究者になりたいです。
将来、研究者になりたいです。これはアパートの something です。
これはアパートの鍵です。
鍵です。Of course。庭に木があります。
庭に木があります。
庭に木があります。最近仕事が忙しいです。
最近仕事が忙しいです。
仕事が忙しいです。That's 左に曲がります。Traffic light or something.
信号を左に曲がります。
信号を左に曲がります。Okay. 駅は something です。禁煙です。
駅は禁煙です。
禁煙です。早く寝た方がいいです。寝た方がいいです。早く寝た方がいいです。
早く寝た方がいいです。
寝た方がいいですよ。
冷蔵
庫。行きます。Hello, bro! ジルケインゴン。最近どう How is it going? Let's go! Of course! We keep going until we reach 1000. 1000日。So 最近どう 行きます。楽しい。すごい。Thank you. Think you follow. I think there's sound. I think I put this sound for follow, I think. So yeah, we're trying, we keep going, but we almost finished now. Only 6 ones and done. Ikimasu. I don't remember this one. Hikoki?
病院へ行きます。
Of course, 病院。Hospital. 病院へ行きます。友達が国へ帰りました。友達が寂しいです。寂しいです。I become lonely. You are good at Japanese. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. After a lot of practice, you know, I miss you. Wait, did you come before? Wait, I saw you before?
国へ帰りました。
友達が
寂しいです。
国へ帰る。Wait, I don't remember. Did you come before? No. Okay. So yeah, we just keep improving, you know?
友達が国へ帰りました。
国へ帰りました。So 毎日します。大変ですね。大変ですね。
毎日残業します。
残業します。
大変ですね。
大変ですね。図書館に本を返します。Yeah, I skipped it. Anyways, I don't remember this one. ryosho in the future, ryosho. 来週。将来。
研究者になりたいです。
研究者になりたいです。Okay. これはパートの鍵です。鍵です。
これはアパートの鍵です。
寂しい means lonely. I become lonely. No, it's not miss you. 寂しい means lonely. I become lonely when my friend leaves, goes back to the country. So yeah, sabishi means lonely. If you write sabishi, look. If you write sabishi, okay. Sabishi means lonely. So alone. Oh my god, I didn't know. So lonely when in English lonely is the same. Alone, you know? Alone. Home Alone, you know Home Alone? But anyways, yeah. Good to have you here, bro. We finished for now, but we do challenge. We have 4 more days to finish Tokini and Genki. And we just keep going. Home Alone is God movie. We watch it every year. Every year we have to watch it. But yeah, 0K, thank you very much. I am honored to have you here. I'm going to go now, but I will be here every day, you know. Mata and ashita, asatte, raishu, raigetsu, rainen. Mainichi. So yeah, ashita, asatte, raishu, raigetsu, rainen, mainichi. Until sennichi made. Wait. Sennichi made. Where do you from? Cyprus, Kypros. Kypros. Saibros. Ziruken. Zirukei the name, your name, Zirukei Gyudon. Zirukei Gyudon. Okay. So, Zirukei Gyudon. Thank you very much. Yeah, oyasumi nasai. Zirukei Gyudon. Matashita. Oyasumi nasai and matashita. Wait, where is matashita? Mainichi. Asatte, Reingetsu, Rainen. And oyasumi nasai. Mainichi. Mainichi haishin. Haishin neri ongai desu. Wait, what does that mean? Fishing. Wait, by the way, before you leave, where machi wa dou desu ka? Machi wa sundeimasu ka? Where do you, which country, which city? Wait, Nihonjin desu ka? Anata wa Nihonjin desu ka? This podcast every day. Tokyo, okay. Sugoi. So yeah, hopefully we see you around, like tomorrow, ashita. Yes, Nihonjin desu. So yeah, hopefully we see you tomorrow, after tomorrow. Other people also come here. Yuki, you will meet them. Benzerka. Pretentious Asteroids, everyone comes here. So and also you can join the Discord also. You can see people. This Discord here, you can see other people as well. Where is the Discord? But yeah, thank you very much for coming by, and of course, oyasumi nasai and matashita. This one. There are a lot of people here. Onyaman also. Onyaman mo Nihonjin desu. Onyaman Nihonjin desu. Yes. This one. And yeah, many people here. Cofelio has birthday. And yeah. Onyaman Nihonjin desu. And yeah, that's it. Thank you very much. Arigatou gozaimasu and oyasumi nasai. And matashita.